Big dog or small dog, the bow is always a cute trick. The bow behavior comes very naturally to all dogs. Start with your dog in a standing position with a treat in your hand and held right at your dog's nose. Slowly lower your hand downward, luring his nose down between his legs and close to his chest. Once his head is all the way down, he will usually start to arch his back, with his rear end up in the air in a perfect bow position. Say yes and reward. If you wait too long, though, to say yes, he will drop his rear end to the floor, so be quick to release him. Also, if he's hesitant to drop his head all the way down, say yes and reward in increments. When your dog readily follows your hand down, start adding your cue word, bow, for instance, just as he drops his head. Over time, and as he becomes more comfortable with this trick, start withdrawing your hand as you give the cue word. The idea is to completely withdraw your hand from the equation while giving the cue word. Once you reach this stage and your dog is responding to your verbal command, add in a hand signal or body cue if you like. For this trick, start with your dog in a seated position. With a treat in your hand and positioned at his nose, very slowly raise your hand upward. As he brings his head up and stretches for the treat, say yes and reward. Every few trials, raise your hand a little bit higher. Go slowly. If you go too quickly, your dog will become frustrated and give up. Keep the treat on his nose or barely above it. If your dog jumps, your hand is too high. It's important to say yes and reward often and in small increments. Once your dog is in the sit pretty position or begging position, don't make them stay there too long. As they slowly become more accustomed to this new position, ask them to maintain their position in small incremental measures of time. Say yes and reward at each increment. Start adding your verbal cue as they perform the behavior. Gradually add the cue earlier in the process until finally you're asking for the behavior just before they perform the trick. If you want to add a hand signal, do it at the same time you add the verbal cue.